to the second hour. It's the second hour here on the 9th day of September 2013. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for turning on. We got a lot going on here in this body-mind. Check it out. Take a class in meditation if you haven't tried it. Go get hypnotized, for goodness sake. Start to develop an inquiry in your own life between you and whatever you conceptualize it is that existed before you were born and which will persist after you die. This, of course, on top of eliminating the 10 bad foods and nutrifying your body appropriately every day, which is what we're going to talk to Nadru from California about right now. Hey, Nadru, thanks for the phone call.
Hi, Dr. Glidden. I have a gentleman on the line, Waddell. He came out to see Dr. Wallach, and he's been on the product, but he's experienced some other issues, too. Go ahead, Waddell.
Yes, Dr. Glidden, thanks for taking the call.
Hey, Waddell, how can I help?
Yeah, I'm on the 90 for Life program, and I've been on a little less than 3 months, but about a month into it, my headache every single day, and I can't get rid of the headache.
Now, were you a headache sufferer when you were a kid and they went away and now they're back, or is this a brand new thing you've never had before?
Well, I had it at one time, but I got into the alkali water and got rid of it. I haven't had a headache in 8 years.
Okay, so are the headaches that you're experiencing now the same headaches that you got years ago, or is it a completely different type of headache?
It seemed to be the same. Sometimes I feel like a band around the head.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a very interesting. This is. I'm glad that you called, because this is somewhat of a complex situation. But what it all boils down to here is the balance. You know, in the wintertime, you blow on your hands to warm them up, right?
Right.
But you also blow on soup to cool it down. Well, What the heck? Your breath is the same temperature, so why does it warm your hands up and cool soup down? It doesn't make sense. Well, unless we think about it in a greater sense that, the soup is much hotter than the hands are, or than the breath is, and the hands are much colder than the breath is, so then it would make sense, right? So when you're giving to your body all of the nutrients that it needs to fix itself, which is what you've done now that you've been on the 90 for Life for 2-3 months now. Your body is completely nutrified. When you fill the body's tank up, it will, by virtue of now that your body has everything that it needs, it will start to accentuate imbalances in the body. They'll kind of stand out in boldface. So it's kind of like the nutrients have caused the fog in your body to burn away, and now we're able to see, in fact, where the real root of the problem is for you. And the real root of the problem for you mostly is, if I had to take a wild guess at this based on my clinical experience, I would say that you need to take for a couple of months, or maybe even just a couple of weeks, some more fish oil, or a nutritional supplement that's high in something called EPA and DHA. That's high in EPA and DHA. Those are two specific types of fatty acids. And I think that you just don't have enough of those. And that now that your body has everything else, the deficiency in the EPA and the DHA are starting to stand out in boldface, whereas before they were kind of faded into the background, and then the alkaline water helped a little bit. But this is the revisitation of an old symptom. This is called Herring's Law of Cure, and I know that it doesn't sound like it to you, but it's actually a good thing. But it's also an indication. It's kind of like your body is unwinding itself from the present moment in time back into the past, to release and bring to the surface old physical complaints that you really hadn't fixed with the alkaline water. You just kind of were managing the problems with the alkaline water. There's a difference between, painting over the mold in the basement and actually fixing the source of the mold. And the nutritional program that you're on now is fixing the source of the mold. And for ISO, this is a long-winded way of me trying to communicate that what I would do if I were you is what's your current body weight, by the way?
200.
All right. So for 3 weeks in a row, here's what I would do. I would do 12 12 Smart FX a day. I would do 12 Smart FX a day. It's a brand new product. You haven't been taking it. Take 12 Smart FX a day. That's 4 capsules 3 times a day of the Smart FX. Do that for 2 weeks, 14 days. 12 Smart FX a day for 14 days, and see if the headaches fade into the background. I'm going to bet you 25 cents that they will. I think that the 90 Essential Nutrients has uncovered a deficiency in EPA and DHA that you've always had in your body, and now that you're taking the 90 Essential Nutrients, that deficiency is standing out in bold face. You know, I know it doesn't seem like it to you, but I think that this is going to be a good thing, because if I'm correct, then the program that you've been on has uncovered a weakness in your system. It's a weakness in your system, and that now we're going to fix. And this is also, Waddell, why we refer to this, you know, as healing is a process, right? It's not an event. We start somewhere, we move ahead, and we see what happens, how we respond to the treatment, and then we adjust. Add some things, take some things away, add some food, take some food away, whatever. We adjust as necessary when we're moving downstream in order to stay on the positive side of health. And I think you just need some EPA and DHA supplementation. The easiest way to get that is with a longevity product called Smart FX. That's S period, M period, A period, R period, T period. And when you're, by the way, Nadru, when you're in the back office and you're searching for this product, you have to put the periods in, or the computer won't recognize it. So it's S period, M period, A period, R period, T period, and it'll pop right up. That's what I would do for 14 days, and I'm assuming, Waddell, that you've eliminated the 10 bad foods. Have you taken that step yet?
Oh, yeah.
All right, excellent.
Yeah, I'm also taking the EFA Plus.
Yeah, how many?
I'm taking four per day.
Yeah, 4 per day. So at 200 pounds, this would be another way to do it. You could take 12 of the EFA Plus a day. But what if I were you? I would add Smart FX for 2 weeks, because that's a real concentrated source of EPA and DHA, real concentrated. It's a better way to do it. You know, you're just not taking enough, and because you're not taking enough is kind of the imbalance that your body now has with these essential fatty acids is becoming pronounced because of the presence of all the other nutrients, whereas before it wasn't even a problem because you were just running on fumes for everything.
Okay.
Now that your body is actually getting its act together, certain deficiencies will become more pronounced, right? So within 14 days, I think you should be on the other side of this, and that's going to be a good thing because if I'm correct and this fixes the problem, then it has fixed the problem from the root. And, you know, you shouldn't expect to experience this again in your life because you'll be over it and on the other side of it. Now, Drew, thanks for the phone call. Give it a try, folks, and give me a call back in 14 days. I'll look forward to it. From California to Virginia to talk to Terry. Hey, Terry. Thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Dr. Glidden, I'm calling for a friend of mine. Her name is Jean. And 2 days ago, she was experiencing some low blood pressure. And she was checking it at the drugstore on one of them machine things, you know, and it was like 90 over 56.
Yeah.
And then today it was like, you know, getting on up her a little high. And she said that she's had 2 heart attacks in the past, and she's on 4 different prescriptions for high blood pressure. And she has bad nerves, and she's real hyperactive. She's on a real low fixed income. She's 80. She's 5'6" and 150 pounds.
Well, the first thing to do is give her 1 bottle of the Beyond OsteoFX a month, 1 bottle of the Beyond OsteoFX a month, and 1 bottle of the selenium. 1 bottle of the Beyond OsteoFX and 1 bottle of the selenium a month. That's going to be about, I don't know, $65 with shipping. If she can't afford that, then just give her the Beyond OsteoFX and enroll her in the business model. And the low blood pressure is invariably a function of all these meds. She's got too many meds, and they're starting to work at cross purposes. And, you know, the MDs do this all the time because the MD doesn't care, and they're too busy, and they've got 100 patients to see in one day, and they're thinking, well, she's 80, she's going to be dead tomorrow anyway, so what do I need to worry myself about, you know, really analyzing her case and taking an extra 15 minutes to do that. Oftentimes, the medical doctors, they're, unless you show them the meds that you're on, they will have forgotten what they've done. And because they're too lazy to go back a couple of pages in the chart and make sure they bring themselves up to speed with all the meds that somebody's taking, it's often they just overlook it through incompetence. I mean, it's just so many errors are made by incompetence. So I would talk to a pharmacist. I would have this woman go to a pharmacist and say, look, I'm on these blood pressure meds. I'm starting to have bouts of low blood pressure. Which one can I get off of, and how do I do it? It's invariably a result of too much medication in her body. And remember, most of the time, high blood pressure is a simple calcium and magnesium deficiency. That's all that it is. Of course, other signs of a calcium and magnesium deficiency, things you can look out for to kind of bring this home for you, would be restless legs at night in bed, difficulty falling asleep, not staying asleep, difficulty falling asleep, anxiety and panic, restless legs, or tics or twitches anywhere in the body. So if she's got tics or twitches in any muscle in her body, if she's got restless legs at night in bed, if she's prone to anxiety attacks, or if it's hard for her to fall asleep, then you can almost guarantee the fact that her blood pressure is high, not because she has a bad gene, but because she has a bad doctor. It's a simple calcium and magnesium deficiency. But have her talk to a pharmacist in the meantime. One bottle of the Osteo FX Plus is a really good place to start to support and promote the structure and function, in this case, of her circulatory system. Check it out, Terry. Thanks for the phone call. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Peter Glidden, and this is Fire Your MD Now. Going to California to talk to Daniel when we come back, so you know what I'm going to say next. Stick around. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health, talking about all things holistic, as we do every day. Going to go to California now and talk to Daniel. Hey, Daniel, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hi, thanks for taking my call, Dr. G. I just wanted to... Huh?
Yeah, I'm happy to. Yeah, thanks.
Oh. Well, I've been on this diet with the nutrition you recommended for me. Gluten-free diet, avoiding 10 bad foods. I don't put raw eggs on my smoothies anymore because I thought that's what was causing my diarrhea. But I'm still having diarrhea, but I think it's because I might be taking the glucogel, the OsteoFX liquid, and the Caltati a little like too concentrated, too fast. I take it with food. I take all of them with one meal, like after a meal. So I don't know, could that be possible?
Well, I don't think when you take them is the function here of the problem. The problem would be, how much water you're diluting each dose in and how quickly you're drinking it down. Those are the variables here. So what I would do to kind of know with a little in-house experiment is for 3 days in a row, you want to stop all of the products that you think are causing the diarrhea. Just stop, so you think it might be the Beyond Tangy, might be the Osteo, might be the Glucogel or whatever. The stuff that you think is causing the problem, stop taking it for 3 days in a row and see what happens to the diarrhea. Now, if the loose stools go away, then on day 4, throw one of those products back into your diet and wait a day and see if you get diarrhea. If you do, then you have to mess around with the dosage, right? So let's say your dosage for Glucogel is 21 capsules a day. Well, if you take 10 capsules and then 11 capsules, 10 capsules in the morning, 11 capsules at night, and if you take 10 capsules and you get diarrhea, it's too concentrated a dose. So you would still need to do 21 capsules a day, but if 10 capsules gives you diarrhea, then you just have to dial it back. Take 7, 7, and 7, or take 5, 5, 5, and 6, or whatever. You still want to take the requisite amount each day, but you want to take them in smaller, more frequent doses. Now, if it's the liquid stuff that gives you a problem, then you just have to dilute it in more water and drink it more slowly. And that's a learned That's a learned habit. That's not an easy thing to do. What I do is I make my morning's dose of the liquid, and I put it in like a big 24-ounce bottle. I take my morning's dose of the liquid, I mix it all up, and I just sip from it slowly all morning long. And then in the afternoon, I make my afternoon's dose, and I take 3-4 hours to drink that sucker down. So it's one of the two, but if you do a little, in-house experiment, but first you have to eliminate the stuff you think is the problem, and then throw it back in a little bit at a time and see what your experience is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so it should be okay as long as I dilute it to take all the liquids, the 3 supplements with the meal?
Well, yes, it should be fine, no problem. The only thing that would be problematic there would not cause diarrhea. The thing that would be problematic about taking any of these supplements with food is if the food that you're eating is a phytate donor. That's P-H-Y-T-A-T-E, phytate. Phytates are non-essential nutrients. They're found in many foods. Most plants have phytates in them to varying degrees. Phytates bind to minerals, and so if you're taking a 200-pound dose of the white liquid calcium, but you swallow it down during a meal that has phytates in it, you might only be absorbing 100 pounds of the dose because the phytates sucked up the other 100 pounds. So do a little Google search for phytates. That's P-H-Y, T like Thomas, A, T like Thomas, E, phytates. And just don't have any of the mineral supplements with a meal that has phytates in it. If you can avoid that hurdle, you're going to go a long way towards increasing absorbability. But that's a completely different thing, man, from causing diarrhea. Diarrhea is one of 2 things. It's either an allergy to something that's in the supplement. You might be allergic to shellfish. You might be. I doubt it, but you might be. Or you're just throwing it down too fast and too furious. You need to kick it down a notch or 2, and life is good. Check that out, Daniel. I appreciate the phone call. 866-582-9933, folks. That's the number to call to speak with me live today. 855-347-3696. That's the podcast number. Stick around, why don't you? We're going to talk to Tom in Texas when we come back. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, and this is Fire Your MD Now. Tonight's webinar, folks, is on EPA and DHA, omega-3, omega-6, omega-9. Something smell fishy around here? What is that? Oh, that's my webinar tonight on omega-3, omega-6, and omega-9 fatty acids. That's at 8 o'clock tonight. Only for Dr. Glidden Insiders. You have to be a subscription holder to get access to this webinar, as well as 100-plus hours of archived health webinars that I've done on everything from acne to, influenza to fibromyalgia to congestive heart failure, for goodness sake. Your MD has given you a party line that's old-fashioned, outdated, and completely out of sync with what's real. And this is a problem because you're sick and you're suffering with a chronic ailment, probably because you've taken the wrong dog to the hunt. You've gone to the wrong person. You've gone to the MD for advice about a chronic health condition when they're not suited to help you with a chronic health condition whatsoever. Dr. Oz does not have the secret decoder ring to everything medical. Dr. Oz is, cardiac surgeon. You want to talk to Dr. Oz about the latest anesthetics and scalpels and titanium chest openers? Well, he can tell you about that. He has no business, nor does anybody else with an MD, telling you about anything outside of drugs and surgery because that's what they're trained in, that's it. And they're trained in that from a particular perspective, which is communistic, reductionistic, overbearing, oppressive, and completely out of sync with the reality of the human experience. They need to be avoided like the freaking plague, as I hope Tom from Texas has done. Hey, Tom, thanks for the phone call. You are live. Very good. How can I help, Tom?
Okay. I've got 2 situations going on here. I'm a diabetic. My diabetes is somewhat under control right now. I'm 6'2", 245.
So type 1 or type 2 diabetes?
Type 2. And
okay.
I've got retinopathy, diabetic retinopathy. The retina is detached a little bit from the back of the eye, and they want to do laser, but I don't want to do that because I don't want to lose my peripheral. I don't know how much they're talking about. That's the one thing. But just as important right now, I've got one of my toes has somewhat deteriorated, and so they're going to put me on a CCIV. They're supposed to do that this week, and so I want to get that taken care of before I deal with the retinopathy thing. But I was just wondering what vitamins or what I could do to strengthen my bones. I'm on citromycin right now, and I'm wondering what I could do while I'm going through this IV antibiotic.
Well, I think I can tell you what to do, but I think we're missing the point here. And, the point is that we've known how to get on the other side of type 2 diabetes for about 40 years. I believe in 1958 or 1959, don't quote me on that date or that year, there was a Dr. Merz, M-E-R-T-Z, I believe is how he spelled his last name. He proved he could turn type 2 diabetes on and off in laboratory mice by limiting their exposure in their food to a particular mineral called vanadium and chromium specifically. We've known for a long time that the nutritional genesis of type 2 diabetes is lack of minerals. You don't have type 2 diabetes because you have blood. You don't have type 2 diabetes because you have a type 2 diabetes gene, because there is not a type 2 diabetes gene. We help people get on the other side of type 2 diabetes all of the time by supporting and promoting the body's ability to have optimal blood sugar. Now, the toe and the retina are being damaged not by the sugar in the blood, but by the insulin that you're taking. So I did a really good webinar on this, by the way. It's in my archives. It's part of my online health subscription service if you want to check it out. $20, right? Sign up for 1 month and just watch the webinar that I did on type 2 diabetes. But the problem here is your body has run out of the nutrients necessary to metabolize blood sugar. Right? So blood sugar builds up in your blood, and that's not a good thing. What does your body do? Your body makes more and more insulin. But you have like a resistance to the effectiveness of insulin. It's kind of like there's a clog in the fuel line. Your fuel filter to your engine is clogged up. Some fuel's getting in there, but not a lot. So there's more and more and more sugar in the blood, and then more and more insulin, and then you take drugs, and then the whole thing goes crazy. And it's actually the insulin over time that damages tissues, that leads to gangrene, and then they got to cut your toes off, and then your feet off, and then your ankles off, and then your legs off, and then you're out of luck, right? So, I would counsel you honestly to not worry about. Here's what I would counsel you to do. Get on an aggressive program tomorrow that supports and promotes the function of your body's ability to metabolize sugar. Because I tell you what, if you can get on the other side of that, and I'll eat my hat if you can't, then all the other issues disappear. Because the retina is directly, the problem with the retina is a problem with the blood sugar. The problem with the toe is a problem with the blood sugar. And the meds that you're taking now aren't cutting the mustard because you have a problem with the retina and a problem with the toe. I mean, if the medication you were taking was sufficient, you wouldn't have those problems, but you do. So, rather than worry about what the heck the antibiotic is going to do to you and what you can do to, really, strengthen the bone and get away from the side effects of that med, I'm telling you, man.
Okay.
Well, you need yes and no. Yes and no. So what you need, right, is a comprehensive, science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition program that's been proven to support and promote your body's ability to have healthy blood sugar levels. Now, that's a comprehensive program that includes more chromium. But if you just give your body more chromium, we're going to be spitting into the wind and we ain't going to get anywhere. So at your body weight, here's what I would recommend that you do for 90 days. Every month, you would order 2 healthy blood sugar packs. 2 healthy blood sugar packs. 2 healthy blood sugar packs. And 4 bottles of selenium. 2 healthy blood sugar packs 4 bottles of selenium, and 2 bottles of plant-derived minerals. That's 4 healthy blood sugar packs, 4 bottles of selenium, and 2 bottles of plant-derived minerals. I would take those supplements into my body every day, and my associates can tell you how to do that. How did you hear about this radio show, by the way, Tom? Who told you about this?
The way I heard about it was that I heard about the longevity product. I had ordered Beyond Tangerine, and then I got to looking at the website and happened to see that there are different radio programs.
Yeah.
And so that's when I clicked on. Just happened to hear you for the first time Saturday. I listened to the broadcast on Saturday, and I said, well, I'm going to call you while you're on today to get some advice, because the doctor's wanting to do this laser thing on me this Friday, and I don't want to lose my peripheral or who knows how much vision, and I certainly don't want to lose my toe.
Yeah. Well, you can't unsurgery something, right?
Sir?
You can't unsurgery something, so I'm with you 100%. As long as it's not a life-threatening situation, and we always advise, give the body a chance to fix itself and see what the heck happens, because you may be able to get on the other side of this. You may not, right? There is a point of no return. There's a point beyond which the body can fix it, and then you need surgery. But I don't know where that is. You don't know where that is. Your eye doctor doesn't know where that is. So, if you've already ordered stuff from Longevity, just call the company up. You have a customer number. I'm telling you, man, for 90 days, 2 healthy blood sugar packs, 4 bottles of selenium, and 2 bottles of plant-derived minerals. That's step 1. Step 2, you must eliminate all 10 bad foods. There's 10 foods that you have to stop eating, and there's no whining, there's no complaining, there's no bitching about it. You just stop eating these foods. You can get that list for free on my website, fireyourmdnow.com.
Okay.
And sign up for my newsletter. It's free, and when you sign up for the newsletter, you're given the list of the 10 bad foods, right? So take those supplements, eliminate the 10 bad foods, and now the extra secret cherry on the top here is, for the next 90 days, you also must completely stop eating anything that's sweet. So no fruit. No fruit juice, no dried fruit, no raisins, no dried apricots, no honey, no molasses, no maple syrup, no agave, no nothing that's sweet. If you want to have non-glycemic sweeteners like sucralose or xylitol or stevia, no problem. But you have to give your body a break with the whole sugar thing. And get into the habit, and I'm betting that you're already doing this, of measuring your blood sugar a couple times a day. Right? Yeah, all right. So now, once my program kicks in, your blood sugar numbers are going to start to come down. And then you're going to have to adjust the dosage of the stuff appropriately that you're taking. Right. And then it's just a function of you keep taking our stuff, you keep following our diet, your blood sugars keep coming down and down and down, and then your blood sugars are normal. And then I want you to fire your medical doctor. And I'm as serious as a heart attack, man. And I love helping people with blood sugar, especially if it's whacked out serious, like gangrene stuff, right? Yes. Because I guarantee you the numbers are going to come down. Now, maybe it'll take 2 days, maybe it'll take 2 months. I don't know. But if you maintain the discipline with this program and give your body the raw materials that it needs,
I will.
Then, keep your fingers crossed and we'll see what happens. And then maybe in the future you'll even be able to keep your toes crossed, right? So that's what I want to tell you, Tom. Check it out. Give that program a try. And once you're on it in a couple of weeks, give me a call back and let me know how it's going live here on the air. And I'll walk you through what to do if you hit any bumps on this, and that's how we do it.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yes, it does, sir. Would you hook me up with your representative just so that I can make sure I got everything right? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, you bet. It's 855-347.
Just a minute. 855.
Yep, 347. 3696. 855-347-3696. Give that number a call. We will hold your hand and walk you all the way through it. It's I'm telling you, man, once you've done it for 2-3 days, it's the easiest thing in the world to do. I appreciate your trust. Now go out there and get your health back, man. We love the people down in Texas because folks in Texas, So I don't know what it is, but different people have different takes on things. My experience, I mean, I grew up in New England. And my experience is that trying to tell somebody from New England about what we're up to is just about impossible. It's not impossible, but it's a tough sell. People in Texas, they want to take action. People in Texas want to take action. They can tell whether you're BSing them or not. I don't know, man. I love Texas. I've never lived there. But there's a lot of longevity groups that are going crazy in Texas because people take the bull by the horns down there, and I guess the pun was intended. Now, don't be giving me angry emails because, again, I grew up in New England. There are a lot of really great longevity people in New England, and there are thriving longevity businesses in New England. I'm just saying, I've noticed that around the country there are different dispositions, right? You know what they say in New England, good fences make good neighbors. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. This is Fire Your MD Now. When we come back after the break, I'm going to go to Tennessee and speak to Dot about a spinal cord injury. Ouch. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Stick around. Webinar tonight for the insiders on EFAs. Check it out. Back after these messages. Welcome back, everybody. We're closing it down today. Going to talk to Dot in just a minute. There was a call here. I can't answer the call, Sean from Iowa, but you had a question about a diet for a pregnant wife. The most important thing when you're pregnant is the 90 essential nutrients. The recommendation for anybody who's pregnant or even thinking about getting pregnant is 1 Healthy Start Pack and 2 bottles of selenium. 1 Healthy Start Pack and 2 bottles of selenium and 1 bottle of plant minerals. 1 Healthy Start, 2 selenium, and 1 bottle of plant minerals per 100 pounds of body weight per month. Plus eliminate the 10 bad foods. Now, once you've done those 2 things, I don't care what you eat. Go crazy for cholesterol. That's a good thing. Go crazy for cholesterol. Eggs and butter and chicken with the skin. Eggs and butter and chicken with the skin. Once you've got the nutrients dialed in, that is a really good recipe for success. Going to close it down with Dot in Tennessee this afternoon. Hey, Dot, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hello, this is Dot, and I was at your lecture here in Tennessee, and my son had gotten hurt on trades and labor, and the doctors say that he's got spinal stenophilus, and they sent him to a therapist, and he took 2 or 3 exercises on that, and his exercises were excruciating, and they decided that there was not anything that they could do for him. So
yeah, don't you hate that?
Yeah, so what do you do in the case of spinal stenophilus? I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, okay, so what we want to do is we want to support and promote the structure and function of the skeleton because that's what's involved here. The bones in his spine are just not right. Why aren't the bones in his spine right? The bones in his spine aren't right because they've run out of the raw materials they need to stay right. So what's your son weigh approximately? Do you know?
I have no idea. He won't tell me. But he's a little bit over 6 foot. And he's not too overweight, but, he is overweight. And now he's kind of watching his weight.
All right, so the recommendation. All right, here's the recommendation. You ready? You want to write this down?
Yes,
All right, it would be 2 anti-aging healthy start packs. 2 anti-aging healthy start packs.
4 bottles of selenium.
Wait just a minute now.
Yeah, 4 bottles of anti-aging healthy start packs. Yep.
Should put aging, right?
Yep, anti-aging healthy start. 4 bottles of selenium. That's S like Sam, E, L like Larry, E like Edward, N like Nancy, I-U-M. 4 bottles of selenium. 4 bottles of liquid glucogel plus. 4 bottles of liquid glucogel plus a month. Plus, he needs to stop the 10 bad foods. I'll go over that list one more time. It's 2 anti-aging healthy start packs. 4 bottles of selenium. 4 bottles of liquid glucogel plus
Plus, he must, he must eliminate the 10 bad foods, and you can get that list on my website, drglidden.com, drglidden.com, or my favorite, fireyourmdnow.com, fireyourmdnow.com. Click on my newsletter tab, sign up for my free newsletter, and when you do that, you're given a list of the 10 bad foods. He needs to clean up his diet, and he needs to give his body the nutritional supplements necessary for his body to find its way back into the wonderful world of health. Talk to the people that invited you to the lecture when I was down there in Tennessee, because they know the ins and outs of how to get this stuff at the wholesale price, and life is going to be good. Thanks so much for the call, Dot. I appreciate everything that you do down there in Tennessee. Folks, by the way, I have a really good webinar on prenatal nutrition for Sean from Iowa. A really good webinar on prenatal nutrition. Check it out. It's in the archives. Have to be a Dr. Glidden Insider. Have to be a subscriber to check that out. Tonight's webinar, fish oil. Everything you needed to know about omega-3, omega-6, and omega-9 EFAs all the way, baby. Did something smell fishy around here? It must be my webinar tonight. 8 o'clock Central Time. Check it out right there on fireyourmdnow.com. God willing, I'll be back in the saddle tomorrow afternoon. Until then, I remain your steadfast advocate for health, Dr. Peter Glidden, thanking you for your time. See you around campus.